you will discover that on the same day that you have an insight and it helps you completely let go of something that you were holding on to, suddenly the world seems like it's also snapping into that lighter thing, and the old frequency starts to fall apart faster and faster. You notice as your money is falling apart, the world's money is falling apart. Do you get what I'm saying? As your relationship falls apart, the world relationship falls apart. Like, we're finding ourselves not just bonding based on we went to the same school or we had like the same football team or we whatever. It's like soul to soul now, right? That's what's trying to happen. This is what's trying to happen. So it's not even about getting anything on the outside. It's about having that alignment first. And it's still right here available for you. We just aren't practiced in it. So the mind goes, this makes no sense. So imagine 2022 is the quickening of this understanding. I want to welcome you to the Sunday Exploring Oneness portion of the Absolutely Everything Pass. I know a ton of new people just signed up because many people know we're giving a free event away along with the Absolutely Everything Pass. This is so exciting. So if you don't know, just so you know, make sure you mark your calendar and take the weekend off and be with us January 22nd and 23rd. And we're going to do a new event. I think we're calling it Magic 2022. The reason we call it Magic 2022 is this next year, you get kind of the choice between chaos or magic. You don't get kind of a mediocre, it's a little bit better this year. It's like, we're going to take everything away that no longer serves you and move your vibration up so high. So you're almost being slingshotted up to a new vibration, because the middle vibration and that kind of stagnant energy that you used to move from no longer works in this time. Energetically, even though I know that calendars are an arbitrary thing in certain ways, and we can always start our own resolutions any day, but the world does on New Year's, right? A lot of people in the world do, which raises the vibration. There's a combination of the holidays and going into a new year that our frequency is much higher. So imagine just joining them in that and creating a higher intention than we had last year. And what I want to offer you is I want you to take a second and just see life as if it's the same as school, right? In school, if you didn't learn something and you flunk, you stay back a year, right? Imagine this has the same thing. There are things in your life that you're here to learn. And there's no punishment like school has. It's not like you have to stay back, you're bad, and there's no shame in it. But there's a lot of things, if we don't really learn them, if we don't let go of them, if we don't release them, if we don't forgive them, life makes you go through it again. And you can't really learn something if it's told to you. You have to learn something through your experience, right? I'm just here to point stuff out to you, but you're going to have your own breakthroughs. And everything that's going on in our life has a point to it. Everything that seems painful has a point to it. Everything, you think it's about something going on the external, but it's really trying to show you a pattern that you have. And there's nothing personal about it. It goes, I'll just do it again. I'll just do the pattern again. I'll just do the pattern again. So if we don't release, if we don't accept certain things, if we don't forgive certain things, we can find 2022 showing it to you again, but even on a little more chaotic of a level, right? So it's really important that we go to a new grade internally as we go into a new year. This is a really big deal. And that requires us doing some deep work. That requires us going inward and understand that there's a higher version of ourselves that's coming in, right? So this is my offer to you, is to take a second and hold a deep space and get really present for a gratitude for what 2021 has been, an understanding, an opening to, is there a new thing for me to learn? Is there something that I'm supposed to be? Is there something that I'm supposed to release? Anything we haven't let go of, first of all, it might be stuck to you because there might be more to learn with that lesson, right? Like maybe you're having a hard time letting go of somebody in your life or a story in your life, but maybe they symbolize something from before that person, right? Maybe they're trying to get you over something that happened with your mom, or they're trying to help you surrender something with, something that happened in your childhood, or access the truer new you. Right? 2020 and 2021 were like, you're in college and it's way harder than just being in basic grades, right? So I want to offer you to be present for anything in 2021 that maybe you still feel pain about. Maybe you're still feeling unresolved about. And I want you to notice that it's never really about that thing. Do you understand that? Like if you're going, okay, I still don't know what to do about money, for instance, okay, already you might not understand that you might have a belief that money equals protection versus you equal protection, right? We really have been wired that that is your security. Money is, not you connected to source, not you on a high frequency. Like imagine if the world taught you security is you connected to source, versus security is having just enough in the bank. You understand what I'm saying? Like people talk about money like it's security. People even say, I want to make sure you have enough security in the bank. So the belief there is that that's where security is, which implies you're not security, right? Immediately you're screwed. If you're not security, then you're always going to feel that. So even if money gets there, you'll still always feel a lack of security, even if money gets to the millions in your bank account, because what if it goes away? What if the government takes it from you? What if someone else takes it from you? Whatever, right? So you were never taught that you're security. You're very, very hardwired. Now, what if 2020 and 2021 were the start of the proving that to you, that that was a false concept, that your security is in money? What if you thought security is in when you're in a relationship, right? It's when I'm in a relationship, or if you own a house, or when you finally have a job. These are the things that show security, which immediately you put out energetically means I am not security, right? My connection to source is not security. I mean, this has been taken from you. Your natural right to understand the infinite power of what you are has been completely pulled from you. And you had all this magical power in your body. And then right away, our parents, the school system, the news, TV, everything is like, what matters is getting the right partner. What matters is getting the right job. So even then you fight for those things, but you just lose the real truth of the infinite power of what you are. Right? Now, you can have those other things, but don't ever have them from the vibration that they make you more secure than what you are. How about the security of what do I do? Do you understand that? What about the security of what do I do? People have a hard time just being without just going, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my life. I don't know what to do with my job. I don't know what I'm here for. I don't know what to do when I meditate, right? The belief is you're what you do. Do you hear that? Not what you are. Imagine that 2022 is the goodbye to those concepts, that those things are bigger than you. So what is happening? You're going back to the truth of what you are, right? And what if the truth of what you are actually creates a quantum field where the world matches that understanding? I mean, if you are this constant, ongoing, evolutionary, magical, expansive being, and you're caught on a frequency that's just caught in, is there enough money in the bank, which is just a constantly overprinted, overinflated, random bunch of pieces of IOUs that aren't actually really worth that much, and you're getting worth less and less and less, then aren't you getting worth less and less and less? Isn't this bizarre low frequency thing that you think is you, this thing right here, you think is you? Let's really hear that. Well, then you're screwed because you're disconnected from the absolute magical truth of what you are. So 2020 and 2021 are trying to get you to learn these much deeper principles, and it can only do it through these little hints, because if it did it through the actual teaching, it would never be a hardwired truth. A true revelation, an insight, comes from inside. There's literally no person outside that can show you something that you'll have as an insight way later. You could have someone tell you something and you could hear it and get it here, but it's not wired. When you have an insight, it's like an explosion inside, and then the body rewires itself around what you just realized, right? And then not only the body rewires itself, but the world rewires itself. Right? You will discover that on the same day that you have an insight and it helps you completely let go of something that you were holding on to, suddenly the world seems like it's also snapping into that lighter thing, and the old frequency starts to fall apart faster and faster. You notice as your money is falling apart, the world's money is falling apart. Do you get what I'm saying? As your relationship falls apart, the world relationship falls apart. Like, we're finding ourselves not just bonding based on we went to the same school, or we had like the same football team, or we whatever. It's like soul to soul now, right? That's what's trying to happen. This is what's trying to happen. So it's not even about getting anything on the outside. It's about having that alignment first. And it's still right here available for you. We just aren't practiced in it. So the mind goes, this makes no sense. So imagine 2022 is the quickening of this understanding. 2022 is the speeding up of this understanding. Imagine that that's what this is. So that's why I'm so excited about our event. You're already here on the Absolutely Everything Pass. And what we're doing is this event to help you continually remind yourself of that intention, so you don't get caught in the old world that keeps teaching you to stay addicted to everything. It'll actually be really hard to stay to that old world because you're already on a higher frequency. And as you move up to that higher frequency, the old systems inside and outside will literally disappear, right? So you want to not be in the building that's falling. You want to see that you're not that and on a higher frequency, and then you'll realize that doesn't serve you, and it'll fall on its own. To make room for a full-on deep connection to a universe, because you are a higher asset. Take this in. You are a much higher asset than all the money in the world, than the greatest relationship on the planet. You are a higher asset than everything else going on in the world. You're a higher asset than the government. You're a higher asset than what Congress said. You're a higher asset, but you have to find that truth from the inside, right? So today is about being grateful for what you've learned so far, and anything that still feels like a stuck concept in your body might want you to look deeper. So today what we're going to do is meditate on anything that's stuck, combined with a meditation on gratitude for just what you did learn and can see. And you got to bring in the knowing that this is an ongoing process and there's no there. In fact, that's really good news, because whatever you've learned so far is always just scratching the surface of what's possible. And in this entire life, you are going to get exponential, magical, holy shit lessons. This is why this is so exciting. So instead of being like, when am I there? I keep, no. Imagine it gets really, really, really amazing and fun as you stay in the work, and imagine it'll never end. Like, imagine if you're in your 40s, that in your 50s, you will have all those lessons and learn another thing that will take you to an even lighter frequency and a more magical one, and then purge something else that you never knew was stuck in your body. And then you'll get in your 60s and you'll just keep going up and keep going up and be on a frequency where you know this. Now, people go, yeah, but I need money and I need the relationship and everything. This is my point. If you understand what your value is, don't you understand that those things would come to you instantly, while simultaneously you don't need it codependently? You'd be the most valuable thing because you're actually in alignment with the value of what you are. Imagine if you took a bird and right when the bird was born, you convinced it that it couldn't fly. And you convinced it that it couldn't fly. And the bird is totally believing that its job on the ground is to figure out how to make the most money and everything. And it literally loses its ability to fly. And now it's scared because it loses all that stuff, but eventually it's just alone with its wings. That's happening for you. That's why this time is so exciting if you understand what's going on. But you have to understand what's going on. You have to. You have to. If you don't, then the old world's collapsing, but you just think that's the world, right? The old world is collapsing. But if you think that's you, this is horrifying. So it's literally just the matter of perspective. Isn't that weird? This is just perspective. It's it. Perspective changes. Am I looking at this from a higher frequency that says, oh, that's supposed to fall apart? Imagine you go through a divorce and see it. Of course, there's still pain and all that, but you're seeing it from, oh, that's the clearing out, or that's the higher me, or that's helping me literally learn why I'm here. Versus if you don't understand what's going on and you're going through a divorce and you're just left with the belief of loneliness and not enoughness and no understanding about your connection to soul, that thing defined you. Now you're depressed or suicidal or whatever else. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about you understanding. Then you start to like feel an excitement. You even feel an excitement about loss. You're in this place where you're like, okay, if that doesn't work, then a higher me comes through even more. You don't ever aim for loss, but whatever comes out that no longer, it's always replaced by the universe. So we're here on the Absolutely Everything Path to do this with you this year, to be a space to keep our alignment. And I want to dare you to come on as many calls as you can as we hold this higher thing. And I mention all this because I know a lot of new people join. So I just want to welcome you to the Absolutely Everything Path and tell you I'm so excited to be with you, and our team's so excited to be with you. Everyone take a deep breath in. And I want to offer you to just be for a second and notice as you kind of look back at 2021 or even years before that, if there's anything that's still a pending lesson. And a way that we learn lessons is we just get present with it while not mentally seeking for the answer. Because I'd rather you, check this out, I'd rather you become a space for what's inside to show itself to you than to force or dig, search, like in a searching way for an answer, right? I want you to become a space for your inner child or your protector or your fear or a lesson to just show itself to you. Imagine that the real reason you're on this planet is just to see, not to do, but just to see. And when we meditate, I want to offer you to just see. Just see what's here. What wants to be shown to you? Don't force anything. Can you do that? Can you just see what's going on when you look at 2021, or even better, what's in your body right now? I just want to offer you to see if it feels like pain, what's the feeling? No digging past it. I want you to become the space. That's a huge difference. Yesterday, I was playing with my daughter and we were pet sitting. Her and her mom have a neighbor who has a cute dog. And Vivi is, so excited about the dog and continually wants to grab it and pick it up, right? She continually, like the dog, she's almost crying if the dog isn't on her lap, right? But the dog, of course, needs to do its own thing. So I showed Vivi the difference between her forcibly picking this dog up and just grabbing it whenever and making a space for the dog to be there. So I showed her the difference. There's a huge difference, right? One is you're forcing this thing, and you can accidentally do that with your meditation, right? You're in a meditation and you're trying to go into the pain. I got to figure this out. Oh, why is this because of my mom? Where does this? No. Let it reveal itself to you. So I showed Vivi, okay, let's sit way back. Now let's also think what it needs. Does it need to be heard? What does the dog need? So Vivi had to sit, she was sitting at the edge of the couch, and she learned to sit way back, put out a blanket and a pillow, and maybe play with the dog's toy. The next thing, the dog's right on there. The harder Vivi squeezed the dog, the faster it wanted to jump out. When Vivi didn't squeeze the dog hard and just let it be and just kind of pet it, the dog stayed there. This is exactly how meditation works. You become the space for it to reveal itself. It needs to know you're safe first. And if you're in there prying uninvited, or you're not willing to hear it, or you're not open, or you're pushy, it can't reveal itself to you.